My bad. We let a child sex offender, dressed up like a girl, read to those kids. That was probably not the best thing we could do, and we're sorry. That was great. They nailed it.
Soy Boy Chloe is 110% organic, non-GMO, gender misogynistic depression, identitarian.
And there's no need for anyone to think that is unacceptable. We're going to shut them down and work with whoever it is to shut them down, and they should be prosecuted. You cannot intimidate members of Congress.
What's up, Grandma Moses? How are you? This isn't going to be a long stream. We'll maybe let a few more people jump in here from D Live and whatnot. I have just a few things I want to say in regards of everything that we're seeing, obviously, in the world. It's just my opinion. So I won't take. So I'd love it if everyone could stick around. I probably won't do this. This will probably just be a 5-minute video. We all know what that means with my 5-minute videos, but. I don't know where to stop or where to not push the panic button. All right, because I don't want to push the panic button, but when people like, oh, calm down, you're being a conspiracy theorist. Take your tinfoil hat off. It's all going to be okay. It's all going to work out. Well, guys, this is unprecedented what we're seeing. I used to be a hardcore conspiracy theorist. People who know me know this back. Those are just joining. This won't be real long, so stick around. I'm only going to be on here 5 minutes or so. But I just felt like I wanted to get something off my chest. I got away from all that, and I just got into the grind, and I quit thinking it was all going to end, right? But this is stuff that I followed many, many years back and was really pretty into. It all is rushing back to me now because everything that I used to think was going to happen now, we're actually seeing happen right now. And this isn't going to just go back to normal in a couple months. Everything isn't. And I don't say that to scare you. I don't say that to hurt your feelings. I don't say that to freak you out. I don't say that to piss you off. I say that because that is truly, truly what I believe. When you look at what's happening right now, I would prepare for what we're going to see as the collapse of the debt-based financial system. I don't think that's coming back here in a couple months. I hope that I'm wrong. I mean, I hope that I can just go back to just living life how we have been living it because it's been pretty good. When you see that London is running out of beds right now, hospital beds. Italy declares martial law. New York City is under a mandatory lockdown. California is. Florida is. It's spreading across. When you see that these things are happening, don't just think that it all just goes back to normal. Don't freak out and panic because there's nothing you can do other than what you can do. You got to have peace, right? You've got to find your peace in your heart, and you've got to control your controllables because that's all you can do is control your controllables, right? But Trump is not going to make this all better in a couple months. I know that's what they're telling us, and I hope to God I'm wrong. But if you do have supplies, I would, this is going to sound a little funny, but I would break some of those supplies up and put them in some different spots if you can. There's the potential for us to have FEMA come into our doors to take supplies if you guys have too many, if you've been one of the hoarders, right? If you've been one of those panic buyers that the government and media has been lashing out on, and that now even locally here around, we're hearing stories online on social media about people getting the stank eye and people getting yelled at by managers. We're already seeing stores manage how their hours and manage what you can buy and what you can't buy. If it gets as bad as it could get, right, then they very well could come door to door and say, hey, how many supplies you have? You're only allowed to have this many for this much time because we need to have enough to go around. I know that's kind of out there, and you guys may laugh it off and say I'm completely, and I might be on that, but I would prepare for the worst and hope for the best. That is my motto I'm living by right now. Which mistake do you want to make? Which mistake do you want to make? We have Iran and Russia and China in a propaganda war with their people. It's a war of the mind right now. We have Iran decrying the sanctions from America, and I'm not going to get into the right or the wrong of the sanctions we have on Iran. But regardless, we have them gaining support from the rest of the world that we aren't dropping our sanctions, that we're the bad guys. Maybe in some ways we actually are the bad guys, but again, I'm not going to debate that. We have China programming their people that we're the bad guys and going out and going and helping Cuba and helping Iran. We have Cuba decrying our actions, right? And we have the rest of the world starting to join together and work together. Meanwhile, they're working very hard at a PR campaign, as is Russia, of demonizing America and making we're the big bad people that aren't, coming together globally to help people enough. That's all a setup. Know what that is. That's a setup. That's a programming of making sure people that there's division, right, and justification for actions. Iran's calling us the enemy. Iran's calling us, obviously they always have called us this, but they're really hammering on that. China is using war language against us, saying that this is, that there's going to be retaliations and that, they're pulling back all the journalists, right? They're setting themselves up and doing the first steps. I believe we're already in this war with them. And then we are using all this war lingo, right? We're using all this war lingo. War lingo against we're on a war footing. We're going to war. We're on this war, war against this virus, war against this virus. Meanwhile, troops are deploying to our streets to help the virus. Troops are, we're getting ourselves programmed into understanding we're at battle, we're at war. Troops are on our street, they're helping with this. There is something major going on that I just want, as much as you can, to be understood that I don't think this just changes. And again, I don't say that, I don't know how to not to say this because I know it's kind of scary to say it. Prepare yourself spiritually, prepare yourself emotionally, appreciate the time you have with your family. And if you can still get out before it's complete lockdowns, if you're not in a lockdown area, if you're not in a lockdown area that can't, like New York or California, or I guess you can still go out to the grocery stores, buy yourself some extra stuff when you're there, canned goods and water type of stuff. Because I think this gets worse before it gets better. I don't know how this is going to be received or taken by people out there. I understand it is a bad, not happy subject, but this is not a great time right now. So without instilling fear, but also opening people's eyes to, if you're still thinking, oh, Trump's just going to take care of this, we're all going to go back to normal soon, it's all going to be okay. I personally don't think that, and I feel like I need to share it. Right? I need to share it and get people awake to the fact and take this virus more serious than I even did in the beginning or thought it was. And if you're thinking, oh, it's nothing worse than the flu, you don't know that. We don't know that yet. And this worldwide panic, to think it's all just one big hoax, that the virus isn't anything and they're just using it as a carrot to scare people. Come on. They are using it as a carrot to scare people. They are using it to push everyone, to gain authoritarian power and totalitarian power over us. They are using it for that, but they couldn't use it for that if there wasn't something to it. So also use caution and use common sense, and don't just completely dismiss that. So I will do some more stuff here to this next week. I'm going to do tomorrow with drone tech and whatnot, and I got to quit reading some of this stuff. Get out and enjoy the weather too. But just know to love your loved ones, and every day's a gift. But prepare your heart and your mind in a good spot as best as possible. But don't, which mistake do you want to make? Not prepare at all and then be taken by surprise, or take the steps emotionally, spiritually, physically that you need to take. Take those preparatory steps. And then if it doesn't turn out to be as bad as it very well possibly could be, then what harm have you done? None. You've not taken away from your life. You've added to it. Preparing, taking time with your family, taking time with your God, taking time with yourself and you collecting your thoughts and taking time physically getting stuff ready. That's my advice to you. And then if it all blows over and there's nothing, you have a little extra food in your pantry, you spent some good time with your family, and you've maybe been able to think through some things that you didn't think through before with all the distractions around you. But don't be distracted to think, I don't need to take this serious. No big deal. Don't do that. That would be the wrong mistake to make. All right, guys, we'll talk with you later. It was just going to be a short little stream. SJG perspective, and appreciate everybody's support. Talk to you soon.